Hi guys, welcome to day 6 of Discovering 365 with Fifi, and I'm just so happy today to be doing our 6th day. I know it's a struggle. Keep me in your prayers. I've got deadlines tomorrow and you're all in my prayers. So today I just thought I'll talk about something that I was on about yesterday, surrenderance, what it means to surrender to God, and today it will be mainly on discernment. For us to be able to discern, we need to have a complete surrenderance to God. And I think it's so important to ask ourselves, God, what is my calling? What am I called for? Because for us to respond back to God, like Samuel said, "Here I am, speak Lord, your servant is listening," we actually need to be able to hear the voice of the Lord. And discernment is a process where we're just seeking for that voice, where we just listen for the voice of the Lord and actually hear what He's trying to say to us. So we need to ask, Lord, what is my calling in this? What am I called to do? What is my passion? What is your passion for me? What do you want me to do? Come and stir a passion in my heart, Lord, so that I will do your will, whether it be in family, religious life, singlehood, anything. You need to ask Him. I love the quote that St. Catherine of Siena said, "If we are all who we're called to be, we will set this world on fire." And I think it all comes with prayer, surrenderance, for us to know who God wants us to be, who we are meant to be in our lives. It's something that we ask constantly in our day-to-day life. It's something that we prepare for every single day. And for us to be able to reach that place, we need to be in union, we need to be in communion with Christ, where we can have that relationship of openness to say, Lord, guide me in the right path. Lord, show me the way to my journey, because this is a journey, this is a process. And today when I was watching, a friend sent me a podcast this morning. So weird how sometimes when you're asking the Lord something and He just put something right in front of your face. A friend sent me today a podcast on discernment, and when I was watching that, I just took some notes and I was just asking myself, how do I prepare myself for this, whatever this journey the Lord is putting me into? So one of the things I learned today when I was listening to this podcast is discernment on our terms, which I've already said earlier on. Not really. I think when we discern, we really need to take time, especially every day, to just take a small time, 30 minutes or whatever, to just listen to the voice of the Lord. Just take a step back and just listen to what He's saying to you, what He's speaking to us. Because I think most of us, where we go wrong is when we seek for that big sign. We want God to have this massive note written, say, this is your calling, go for it. But it doesn't work that way. So I think that's where most of us kind of get lost and entangled in. And another thing that really struck me is assurance before committing. I think the reason why most of us kind of find our vocation very late is because we're just waiting for that assurance. Sometimes it's like it's right in front of us, but we can't see it. And also sometimes it's just that we're hesitating just to give in. And sometimes we just don't know how to make a decision. Like, should I go for it? Should I not? God, do you want me to go for it? Sometimes, yes, God allows you to go for it. Sometimes, no. It's the same thing like when you're preparing for a wedding, for marriage. It's a process. You need a relationship. You need a partner. You need to pray. You have preparations towards marriage, where you go through these classes and everything. Even for the same thing, when you decide religious life, you have a process that you go through. Then it all requires a decision. You have to make a decision, because just because God has already shown you what is your vocation, if you don't make a decision to certain things, it's not going to work, because it's something that you have to build, something that you have to develop over the period of time. It's not something that just happened in that instant, because it has been revealed to you. So it's a process. It's something that you have to work on every single day. And it's not an easy thing. It doesn't matter which vocation you go for. It's not an easy thing because everything requires work. It requires hard work. It requires you to give all you have, and most important, faith, because you're just believing in something that you're not even sure of. It's a world of uncertainty, because if you're going into marriage, you're going to become one with someone which you've never lived with your entire life. And to start and building up a family of your own, you're now ministering to children, family members, and things like that. And if you go into religious life, you also have, that giving up your family, leaving your family behind, and things like that. And if you go into singlehood, you now have to think, so is this my entire life to be just by myself? So I think there's a lot of things to consider in this journey. And another thing that I really liked from that podcast was talking about grace. We need grace. To be able to go through into this, we need grace. And we need to seek for that relationship with God in order to get that. It's the same thing, like, like when we seek for holiness, it's something that we pursue over time. It's something that we work over. It's the same thing as the grace of the Lord to do this. We need to pursue it. We need it in order to be able to walk into this journey. And not everything is going to be like how it worked for the apostles, because the apostles, I remember, when they met Jesus, Jesus told them, follow me, and they just dropped everything and followed. That's not what we are all not called to do the same. God just comes and calls us in different ways, and we just have to be attentive enough to hear what he wants out of us and to know what he wants out of us. And another thing is, how do we decide? Ask yourself, what draws you to God? What do you love to do for God? Do you love to serve the children? Do you love to serve his people? Do you love preaching? Do you love singing? Do you love what? Because God will use whatever you already have in your hands, because he has given those talents, he has given those gifts so that he can use it. So sometimes all he wants is just for you to stretch out your hands to him and say, Lord, all surrender totally to your hands, and he will make it happen. Thank you for watching.